Oh, blimey, it's dark, innit? Alright, how y'all doing? Another video, sat in front of a camera, at a desk. Yes. One bonus being that you get reasonable audio, but you don't get anything else as far as a vlog is concerned. Although, once upon a time, in the early days of the YouTubes, which were 2000 and whatever the date was when YouTube started, I can't remember, this was a vlog. A camera, web camera, whatever. Maybe a microphone, headset microphone, job they're done. It wasn't until years later that people actually started going out and vlogging and editing and all that kind of stuff. Because you got to remember, way back in the day, that stuff was kind of expensive. And no way was it going to be an HD or 16 by 9 or more than a few minutes long usually. Because they had like upload limits, didn't they, back in the day? Was it 10 minutes? 10 minutes to start with, then I think they increased it to 15, and then you could become part of the creator program, which meant you could upload like full films. The idea being that you could upload your like feature length to YouTube or whatever. Anyway, I have found in my most recent stint of doing vlogs on the daily, on the regular, that whenever I don't carry around a camera, that's usually, it seems, when all of the cool stuff happens. Or at least, not even necessarily cool stuff, just when stuff happens that maybe you might want to tack into a vlog. Right? Well, back in the day, I always used to carry around a camera. Always. There would always be some kind of camera in my bag. All the way back to like college when I was rocking around like a DV camera, right? I'd have, my camera, like a proper camera or a point and shoot. By proper camera, I mean like camcorder, video camera, whatever. Or then I'd have like a point and shoot that could do a few minutes of video. Or you'd have your phone or something like that. And even in my last kind of stints, I'd have like a camera that could record, a decent length of video with batteries and memory cards and all that. And I just always have a camera of some kind on me. But not this time. Your phone? No, not even my phone. It's absolutely crazy. The number of times now that I leave the house to go and do something and think, you know what, that'd be pretty neat to pop in the vlog. And then I don't take a camera with me, and I don't even take my phone. Just leave it and then just go and do my thing, go about my business. Which, to be fair, is fine, because there's a point where you either have to vlog or live it. And in a lot of cases, people tend to vlog it. There are just so many times where people spend their days glued to their phones, or you must have probably seen it when you go to a gig or whatever. There are people who will go to a gig to see a band they like, and instead of actually being there and absorbing the atmosphere of the event, they're recording it on their phone or on a camera or something. I was like, what exactly are you doing? Because you're clearly not here. Are you going to watch it back later? But that's surely not going to be the same. Or are you just literally here? Are you just here to record it, to put it on the internet? Because clearly you're not here for the experience. That's something that we would talk about on the regular way back in the day with some of my vlogs, because there is a difference between being there and vlogging it, and in a lot of cases, sometimes vlogging it can spoil the groove. So, come on then, mate, what was the remotely interesting stuff that you did today? Well, I didn't get any sleep again, as per the spec. Another 2 hours. Oddly enough, because my wife was playing Monster Hunter. I've got so many people into Monster Hunter over the last couple of months. It's not even funny. I can't really say that about the wife though, because the wife has been playing Monster Hunter since probably Monster Hunter Try 3U or 4. She might have like dabbled with them, but 4 was when she really got into, and Rise she really got into on the Switch. But like I've got quite a few people into playing it recently, and more so now I've got a whole bunch of people into streaming it. In fact, the wife is streaming it now, and 3D has literally just finished streaming. It's just, it's neat. But we had to get up early, the wife and I, because she had things that needed to be done. And that was difficult because we hadn't slept. We had enough fizz to get through, but the wife's doing workshops. And I just said, you know what, I'll tell you what, I'll put everything the back for a bit, and I will help you. Because she had to go across town to make a pickup for supplies, then take the stuff to where it needed to go, and then realistically come back here to do the workshop. Because the workshop was going to be done over Zoom, because some places still don't let you go in. She's just completed a bunch of workshops, so she had to actually go to a place, a venue or wherever, and do the things. But this one, she did the first one over Zoom yesterday, which she wasn't too keen of the idea of doing, actually, but she said actually it worked really, really well. She was a bit worried that she wouldn't be able to kind of like interact with people very well, but apparently it worked. So it was quite refreshing to be able to do it over Zoom. I guess just because it was different. Probably not as tactile. The feedback wouldn't be as immediate. I don't know. But still, she was cool with the idea, although we have had to rework it so that rather than doing the workshops in her workshop, if she's doing them over Zoom at least, to do them in the house somewhere where there's a decent internet connection. She had a reasonable internet connection outside up until recently, and it's all gone a bit cack at the moment. It's balked. So she was using her data yesterday, and the data ran out on her phone. So, which actually surprised me, because I thought she had unlimited data. But either way, she did the workshop, and it was great. But I offered to help, so we decided we would get Charlie Bear, take him into Charlie Car, the bike trailer, and we got on our push bikes and we rode to the other side of town, picked up the supplies, came back across town, not a huge distance. We ended up doing like a massive circle, came down to the place where she needed to do the workshop, or where the supplies needed to go, dropped them off, and then on the way back through, we bumped into my auntie, who I haven't seen in a billion years. And so we stopped and had a chat with her. And then we went to Fen Park. It's a little park around the area where I'd grown up. And we took Charlie Bear out for a walk. And it's changed so much. I always comment on it every time we walk through. Fen Park has gotten so much smaller. But I'm not entirely sure if... Well, there's two reasons for it. One, I'm quite a bit bigger than when I used to hang out down Fen Park, because Fen Park used to have a child's play area, so that should kind of date when I used to hang out down Fen Park. Like I was probably like 5 or 6 or something like that, and I'm 36 for now. But there's a bypass has been put in Lowestoft called Tom Crisp Way, and from what I remember, part of Tom Crisp Way has eaten part of the fen and Birds Lane, so it's just kind of cuts right into that area, so it feels smaller. However, you can kind of go. There was like an island part of Fen Park in like the middle of the big pondy, watery bit. It was kind of awkward to get to. Now you can just easily walk around it, and they've got places for people to fish and places for people to sit and all that kind of stuff. So whilst you've lost land to the bypass, other areas are a lot more accessible. And it was just nice just to have a little kind of wander around. And hear the nature and the not so distant sound of passing cars. But you know, it was nice. And then we walked all the way back through the park, and well, we came home, got ready for the wife to do a workshop. But it would have been nice to have recorded it, to have vlogged parts of it. I could have literally cut it together and put some background tunes to it if I really wanted to. You know, put some B-roll in. But again, when you do that kind of stuff, it detracts from the moment. I don't care what anyone says. Like, if you are actively recording B-roll, you're kind of taking away from the moment. Because if you're soloing it, like Solo Mio, you're going to be doing, like, I don't remember the guy's name, and I feel so bad, but it's been so long since I watched his films, even though I absolutely love them. It's an Indian chap, I believe, in India. Riding solo to the top of the world, and one crazy ride. Sorry, just interrupting from the future. I feel so disrespectful. The guy's name is Gaurav, who was part of Dirt Track Productions, and he passed away. He died in 2020. So please go and watch his films. I'll cut you back into the vlog in a minute where I talk about the films and all that kind of stuff. They're available on YouTube. His website's gone and everything, so they've been uploaded to a channel on YouTube. I'd say it in a bit in the vlog. They're practically, I would consider those like a Bible to people who want to vlog, basically, or make solo documentaries. Oh, bless him. Fuck. Yeah. Just please check out the films. I'll cut you back into the vlog now. He did these two films back in the early 2000s, where if you've ever seen Ewan McGregor and Charlie Borman's Long Way Round and Long Way Down, imagine something in that kind of vein, but it's one guy. I think in that's Riding Solo to the Top of the World. In One Crazy Ride, it's that guy and a couple of his friends, but I believe he's still the one primarily doing all the filming and stuff. And so, like, it's funny because I don't remember if he does it in both films, but like, there's a scene where he's pulling away from this area, from like this like hotel or this camp or something like that, and he rides away, and you can kind of see the staff of the place or whoever it is that are kind of going, oh, he's left his camera. I wonder if he knows, kind of thing. And obviously then he has to come back, get the camera, and then be on his way to record the piece. It was a style somewhat popularized on YouTube by Casey Neistat. But it was something that I'd seen years ago, and loads of people used to do it. Because obviously if you haven't got a crew, well, someone's got to record the B-roll. And if you're the only person and you're the person that's due to be in the B-roll, you set up the camera, you run away, and then, you do your walk or your whatever past the camera, and then you take it. Or if you're walking away from the camera, you have to obviously walk away from the camera, then walk back. If you're driving past it or whatever, you have to set it up. And it takes time, it's a ball ache, and it detracts from other stuff. If you're making a film, or a short film, or a mini doc, or something like that, that kind of stuff's fine. But I just find that when you're vlogging, that kind of stuff can be a right pain in the ass. because, again, it detracts from everything else that you're doing, and it gets in other people's way. Just throw out there, please watch, if you can find them at least, Riding Solo to the Top of the World and One Crazy Ride. I love those films. I've always loved those films because I used to do moto vlogs back in the day, back when we used to record our bike rides and stuff. So that film was like, well, those films they're almost like my vlogging Bible back in the day. I mean, I vlogged before. I pointed the camera back at myself and all that kind of stuff when I was a little dot, and I thought they were absolutely fantastic. I always pointed them out to people, like, if you're solo, do this, because this guy, like, he explains it. He says, I've got my camera and I put it on a tripod and I fuck off over here and I do the thing and blah, 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 and I come back and he says, I've got hours of just extra footage, and how at one point, because he's going up to the top of a mountain at one point on his little bike, he says how he's at a high enough altitude whereby they don't recommend you stay up for a huge amount of time, and he wasn't entirely sure how well his bike would handle the reduced oxygen. And whilst he was there, he was also recording B-roll for his film, for his documentary. But in doing so, he spent way, way longer than was recommended he be up there. And obviously he then starts to feel the effects and starts to feel really sick. It's really interesting the way that he talks about it and explains it and all of the shots that he gets. So just watch those. But yeah, I'd love to do that kind of stuff again, but it's a ball ache. I will pick up the camera and carry a camera around a bit more in the future. I just don't realistically want to get in the way at this point. I've had issues with that in the past. But in June, I would definitely like to get the camera out for a few things. One, I'm going to have a 13-year-old. My oldest is turning 13, so he's going to get his VR headset and stuff, and I want to record some of that. And my mate Zaber's coming over from Denmark again, so I want to record some of that. If you look on YouTube, there's a playlist of Two Kings Season 1. And that was the first time that Zaber came over to the UK. It was terrible. I filmed on my phone rather than on one of my proper cameras. And he did another series from his perspective on the channel, A Day with Zabermall. I'd like to do that kind of thing again, but Zaber's not going to film this time, I don't think. But yeah. So realistically, though, other than that, I haven't really done a lot. Because I'm not going to lie, I haven't been feeling particularly great. Probably just exhaustion, but if I do things this way, then at least I might be able to go to bed before 1 o'clock in the morning. Kids have had fantastic days, I suppose. They say they have. I've not had any phone calls to complain. I believe the wife's having fun. She's about to, ooh, heel. By the power of Grayskull, just do it. Thank you. We're just, backseat gaming. And yeah, look, everyone's having a great time. So I'm going to head off. Watch those fucking films. I don't care how you get hold of them, just watch them. I hope they're still available. I hope I still have copies of them. I'm going to have to find them. I hope you're well. I'll see you all with a bit of luck in the next one. Do you see people just walking around with their phones? Really fucking weird. Really weird. I don't like it. It's one of the reasons why I don't like phones. I actually saw people when we were out today just eyeballing their phones whilst doing something else. Crazy. Anyway, see you.